Hi everyone, it's Robin Dudley House, the Artsy Bohemian, coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. So from the last tutorial that I showed, you were interested in doing more with this journal. So if you didn't see how I made this, it's made from one sheet of cardstock. I'll leave a link down below, and I also showed you how to paint this. Then I thought it'd be fun to do a quick tutorial on a hidden paper clip with the same kind of general technique. And I'm going to show you how to just do a freehand one, and then also if you want it, if you don't like painting or you don't feel comfortable painting something, then showing you what we can do with this beautiful paper that I found recently on Etsy, which I will leave a link down for below. And it's from a gal named Let's Design Creative, and I love this particular set that she has, and I thought this would be pretty because it kind of matches the same vibe. So I'll be right back. So I cut out a strip of cardstock. This is kind of a craft color. And it's a pretty big one as far as hidden paper clips go. I'm going to show you how I make a hidden paper clip. Most of you probably already know how to do this. But basically, I will take a strip of cardstock or paper. And this one happens to be about 2 inches wide. And I'm using a fairly large paper clip. This one's 2 inches, a little less than 2 inches long. So I'll take the paper clip, and I've already bent this, but this is basically how you do it. So you're going to take your paper clip, and I take the shorter end and I push it in the center, and then I fold it to the end here, and then I fold it again, and then I fold it here, and then I'll know where to cut when I tuck this in, because we're going to be tucking this part in here. So you have 4 folds, typically fold, 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 and then you're going to tuck this in, and that gives you an opening between the paper clip, and you can make a fun paper clip with this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue the insides here, and then I'm going to paint it kind of a, this is called parchment paint, but you can do white if you want to. I didn't have a bunch of it left, so I'm mixing it with white, and then I'm going to paint it and then set it to the side, and then I'm going to show you how I paint this little lady here. So you're not going, if you've never made these before, you're not going to glue this part here, because you need that to slip onto whatever page that you're doing, like that. You're only gluing the parts in between that were folded. So I'm going to have to keep pushing this down. And I based the size of this on this pretty rose. So I cut it out from that piece of digital that I showed you, and I just love that. It's so pretty. So you can just leave it like this, but we're going to paint over it, and that way you can kind of start, if you're having a hard time, or this is a brand new thing for you painting, it's kind of easier to paint over something that's already painted. So here's the parchment and the white. It's quite a bit here. And I'm just going to do a base coat and then let it dry so that we have a fresh, canvas to work on. Because what I'm thinking of doing is painting, after this dries, painting this kind of really muted color green. And then proceed to do the gluing this down so I could paint the actual design on there. I'm just going to set that to the side, And as always, if you're going to make these and you like them, you might as well make a lot of them and just kind of do an assembly line so that you have them for your next journal. Alright, so I painted that one and I painted a couple of others just to kind of play around and waited for them to dry. They don't take long to dry. And I'll just show you two really simple, fairly quick ways to make some unique, one-of-a-kind hidden paper clips. So this is a rubber stamped image on some cardstock that I had coffee dyed originally and then added, just did some dry brushing on it, so it has a bit of a faded look, or vintage. And that's something that, you know, G Care kind of introduced lots of the junk journaling community to. And so I have lots excuse me, I have a lot of paper like that ready to go that I dyed a while ago. So instead of trying to draw something, you could rubber stamp something, and she's perfectly situated to sit on top of a hidden paper clip that I painted. So I think I would probably put her like this, so it looks like she's sitting down. Super cute. And you could keep painting on that just with kind of like a watered down acrylic, or you could use watercolors, or, you know, pencil, colored pencil. So that's one idea, and I just kind of did a little bit on the back, but probably do maybe put some lace or something there. This one I had done a freehand drawing, kind of like what I showed you with these, very quickly, just with the same pencil that I showed you, the sketch and wash. And I did the same frame like I showed you in that tutorial, and added a very, very quick face. I can show you quickly how I do that. Maybe I'll do it on this little one. Well, this is probably too little. Maybe I'll do it on the back here. So just kind of scratchy, just an area for the eyes, a little tiny nose. And you know, since you're working on such a small area, everything is small. Just you don't need to exaggerate anything. And it's literally that simple to make a face. And then you can just do an outline for some hair, and you're done. And you can just accessorize. So I know this isn't easy for everybody, so that's why I thought it would be, you know, if you wanted to add a rubber stamped image, and those of you who have been following me for a while know that I love rubber stamps. So this is probably from Red Lead. I'll put a link down below. She's such a cute little girl, and how appropriate that she is reading a book, which we love our journals, so it could, you know, transpose into reading a journal that she's made, maybe. And then you could just decorate it a little bit more. This, and then so that's what this is, and I followed the same guidelines that I did for this, in the same, you know, kind of the same colors. I haven't done anything on the back, but this is also a hidden paper clip. And this one is this, like I was showing you earlier, those digitals. And I didn't paint everything. I don't know if you can tell by the monitor, but this is a different green than this, because I was being lazy. If I wanted this kind of a green, I would have added probably a little bit more blue to it. But instead, I just used the same color that we used last time, the vibrant green. I think it was vibrant green. And actually, I think I also used this darker avocado green, kind of like an avocado green from the 70s. And I just painted in the green area, and then went over it with some of the kind of the parchment color white in the outlines, and then I did paint it on the outside, and I just made these little corner edges with some paint. I added just a tiny bit of the pinks that we were using last time as well. I think I did a little cotton candy, and I might have mixed it with some of the apricot that we used. So, I mean, you could do whatever you want if these are the colors that you're going to use. Also, Tim Holtz has this really beautiful speckled egg. Some of you might have this. And I did just a little tiny bit of that on the edges because this has like this greenish blue color on there, and it kind of pulled it together and added little dots to those little corners. I don't think I did anything on the other side on that one either. So I'm just going to show you. I took a simple motif from that paper, which is this one right here, and I just cut it out. So I'm just going to do like 2 colors probably. Mix a little white with the rice, wild rice that we used last time. And that'll be the inside of the flower. And then I'm going to mix maybe the little bit of that wild rice with some of the green. And, you know, this way you can have your own unique, one-of-a-kind clips. Especially if you sell your journals, it's kind of nice to have handmade items in your journal as opposed to just having it all be digitals that you've purchased that lots of people might also have. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is kind of nice to have original art. And this, it doesn't take too much. Oops, I kind of shouldn't have done that. Oh well, I'm just going to mix this first. And I'm just going to drop some color in there. I might add a little bit more white, and it gives it kind of a tactical feel. It looks like it's been hand painted, even though you're just painting over this design. And I might add a little bit on the side here. And you can leave it like that if you want, or keep painting the flowers, the petals, I mean the leaves on the inside. And give it that kind of nice painterly look. This is a little bit too green. I think I'm going to put a little bit of that blue in there. Right, that blue was a little too light, so I'm just kind of mixed my own color. It's not the same color at all, but that's okay. And I just used the avocado green, the vibrant green, and then I added some of the mustard to get this kind of toned down. I don't even know what color that would be, but it's actually not too, it's a pretty good match. It's kind of fading into the color that's already on here. And I'm not covering the whole leaf design. I'm leaving a little bit of the dark, and I might add some light to it. And maybe I'll just add a little bit inside here. Ooh, that's a bit too much. Just kind of mixing colors as I go. It's your piece, so you can do whatever you want. Anyway, this, as you can tell, I'm just kind of experimenting as I go here. And that's the fun thing about doing this, is you just don't know what it's going to look like when it's done. I kind of like the fact that it's kind of monochromatic and there's different colored teals and aquas in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of this rice and white color here and just outline the leaves. I don't know if you can see this, but because there's already this kind of greenish color on here, even though I'm putting this brighter whitish color on, it mixes and it kind of blends with what the paint is on there right now. So I'm kind of liking this. Because this is so tiny too, it's it's a little tricky to work on, but I'm just kind of holding it with my finger on the bottom here. I'm going to come back and show you when it's done. It's almost done. I don't want to bore you with all these tiny little details. Here it is. Probably spent way too much time on it, but I just kept adding more and more layers until I liked it, and just wanted to make sure that the flower and the leaves stood out by adding more of that white color with the green, and back and forth and back and forth. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll keep continuing on with this particular book, and we'll have some pretty little ephemera pieces to go with it. Thanks for watching.